Hi everyone, I'm doing something a little different today from my normal content, as I see a lot of posts on social media about creating your own servers and or cluster. And here's my message to you and what you really need to know. For those of you that don't know me, I own a 12 map cluster called Alphaborn, and this video is more aimed at the running of a server and not settings or how to do the settings. So in the beginning, you're going to need some type of idea of what you want and then build up from there. Think of it as laying the foundations and then building upwards. So today's video, I've got 5 bullet points for you. I did originally record this before and it turned into, say, a 35-minute video, so I'm going to do bullet points instead, just to try and keep things nice and short and not give too much detail. So first things first, first bullet point is time, money, and anything sort of involved in that department. So first off, creating a server, it's going to take you days, weeks, months to perfect the kind of settings that you're looking for. And if you are hiring a server, say from Letrado, you are going to be getting a monthly bill. So it's very important that you stay within your budget and make sure that you can actually afford your own server. The other thing as well to consider from the player's perspective as well is players do not want to put a lot of time, energy and effort into a server for it to one day just vanish because the owner couldn't afford it. So make sure you have a certain amount spare or free every month for this server or for this cluster. The Alphaborn cluster costs somewhere between £300 and £400 every month. Now if I couldn't afford that, I wouldn't be able to be the owner. Point 2, and something for you to consider, there is currently over 8,000 different servers or clusters, and 8,000 of them are dead. Now Ark is an old game and it does not have the player base that it used to. So this is something you need to take into consideration. If you're building a server because you want it to be maximum pop all day, every day, then you're going to be very disappointed. So if you are going to be building a server, build it for yourself. Build it with a handful of people in mind and make it larger when the time comes that it's needed. Don't go too big too quick. Okay? Like I said, you've got to stay within your budget. And if you're building it for you, you're not going to be disappointed ever. But if you're building it to have it slot capped all day, every day, you're going to face disappointment. And also, while you're doing your server, look into other servers. Don't copy them to the exact, but try to figure out what works, what doesn't work. But at the end of the day as well, because you're the one paying the bill, you need to like and enjoy your own server. Next on the list is, if you're planning on having a kind of 24/7 feel to your cluster, you're going to need to have some type of system to help you find good, trustworthy admins. No matter who is on your team, you are going to be dealing with complaints of admin abuse, even if there isn't any admin abuse. Some players are very one-set-minded, and some players can only see their point of view. You being the owner, you do not have that luxury. You need to be able to try and see everyone's points of views and try and find the fairest or best outcome in a scenario. And I see this quite a lot with new owners. If a player is being particularly toxic and they are now leaving your server claiming of abuse when there wasn't any, and they're gonna slaughter you all over social media, don't panic, don't worry, and don't feel you have to jump on there and defend yourself straight away. We see all the time players that upload to social media with no proof, no backing, or quite often they post feeling that they are right and correct, and yet all the comments underneath disagree with them. Social media without proof has a very short memory. Now, talking about players, if you do have some pop, or if you do manage to build a small community, you are going to find some players that are toxic, others will be needy, others will be privileged, and it's their right to play on your server or cluster, not the fact that you're paying the bill. So when I was growing up, I was taught, or when I was raised, I was taught, you treat the janitor the same as you would the CEO. Now, when I was growing up, that was a term of respect. You treat a janitor as respectful as you would the CEO. A lot of people in today's world, though, have kind of twisted this sentence and shaped it into, I can be rude to the janitor, therefore I will be rude to the CEO.
Okay, so let's have a very quick look at something that actually happens in my Discord. So in this picture you can see there's two different names, one white, one purple. The white name was having an issue with some admins. Either he raided the admins or the admins raided him. Either way, it got sorted out. I jumped in the party, 5 seconds of a very chilled conversation, and everyone went on their way and we all got along. The purple name, which we're going to call Mr. Blank, his mindset towards someone paying for his entertainment. Okay, so here's what he said. Once I raided an admin base and the guy inside had God mode, but I never said that they are abusing or anything, and he was offline, so it didn't matter. But yeah, think some people here can't read. So again, there's a bit more topic about this, and then down the bottom right here, same, and I will talk to an admin same as with a normal player. I don't care who is standing in front of me. So at this point, after reading that, Pixie thought she'd step up and actually have some fun and have a joke with him. So she responds with, "You shall not talk to me like a common player." Another player pops up and says, "No, you won't." She then adds a gif, "Honey, I'm the queen." You can quite clearly see she's having a joke, she's having a laugh. And then his reply is, "You're nothing better, only 'cause you're admin." That's supposed to be lol, but you put a U instead of an O. So Pixie's reply, "Oi! 1. I was joking, and 2. I'm the owner of the cluster." His reply, "I know." So she responds with, "I'm not an admin." His reply, again, "Still don't care." So by this point I kind of got a little fed up because, as mentioned, we're the ones paying for his entertainment, and all we ask in return is he be polite. I don't see why he has to be so arrogant and naive, thinking that he's entitled to just have things given to him because he is him. So here's my response. Mr. Blank, and the difference between talking to a player and talking to an owner is we are paying for your entertainment at the moment, while you want to play on our cluster. All we ask in return is you speak polite to us and we will do the same in return. For you, your current game experience is free, but for me is roughly £400 a month, and I don't mind paying that if I get to have a laugh, have some fun and meet some cool people. But if someone's unnecessarily rude towards me for no reason, then I see it as, why should that person take up a slot I'm paying for when another cool chilled player could have it? So something to think about. And that's essentially my point here. If you're on someone else's cluster and they're paying for you to have some fun, the very least you can do is be polite to them. If they say hi, say hello back. They're paying for you.
This type of mindset you are going to run into quite a lot, especially on Ark. It might count for other games, but I'm only going by my experience. And these types of people are the ones who will tell you that your server's going to die because he or she is going to leave, and they're the ones who are going to slate you. Don't worry or panic. This sense of entitlement and right to be here and right to do what they want, it won't last long. Okay? On Ark they might be able to get away with it on 1 or 2 clusters, but as soon as life hits them, they're soon going to realise being rude and arrogant because you haven't learned how to control your words and emotions, it's not going to get them very far. So stay polite. Your polite players who are a part of your community will stay by you, they will stick with you when they know you are an owner that they can have faith in. And then, like I said, the whole being disrespectful to the janitor, being disrespectful to the CEO, that doesn't work in life. It's all about showing manners and respect. There's nothing wrong with being polite to someone. It doesn't cost a thing. And then the 5th point, dono to player balance. You're going to hear quite often, if you decide to have donation packages to help you with your monthly bill, you're going to hear quite often that your server is pay to win. Now, if there's any options for payments, someone's automatically going to say it's pay to win. Don't panic, don't worry too much. If you want a pay to win server, it's your server. Make it a pay to win, make it community funded. There are servers out there that are successful that are community funded. But I personally do believe, and we've tried this on Alphaborn, you have to try and find a certain balance if you don't want to be a pay to win. So for example, you can get, say, bullets from advertising Alphaborn, or you can do a donation and buy bullets, or you can get max level dinos with BBS, or you can donate and get dinos. So there's ways to do things for free, and there's ways to do for donations. And I know some of you might be thinking, but why would anyone donate them? Some players still will. Some players don't actually want to put the work in to gather the resources to get stuff for free. So don't panic too much about having things both ways. But the whole point here is, like I said, the term pay to win. If you believe that your server is well balanced and well maintained between donations and non-donations, then don't worry about what other players say.
Right guys, so I'm going to wrap this up now. I hope you found this helpful. I hope the information has helped you in deciding if you are or are not going to have your own server. And if any more questions, guys, feel free to ask them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Till next time, I'll catch you on Alphaborn.